Hi. Good morning. Hi. Can you hear Lola? She's in the background. My babies. They're saying good morning to you all. Hi, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Here for the Friday edition. That's Lola in the background. Here for the Friday edition of Cricut Chat, which is our 3D Friday. It's always 3D on Friday, and today we're going to be making this adorable beach pail that we are gonna bling out. It's a little bit blinged out. I actually put rhinestones on mine because I like rhinestones, and I also used holographic vinyl. So I'm going to show you how. Hi, Ardeen. Welcome. Hi, Angie. Nice to see you, Christine. Oh, you made it today. Yay. Hi, Lynn. Lynn, did you help me set up? Hello. From Ireland. Wonderful. Lynn, you know we've got the Zoom call tomorrow night. I don't know if you heard that earlier in the week, but we're going to set it up for tomorrow night at 7, if that's okay with you. Okay, so we are going to be making this really adorable. Look at this. Now, Leo over at Dreaming Tree put potato chips in his. I'm personally not going to put food in mine. I think I'm just going to use it as sort of a fascination piece or something. It's just really cute. I suppose I could put like a fake plant in it or something. Or just use it on my dining table as just something to look at for the summer. I like that idea. I'm not going to put food in it. Not because it's not food safe, because it's paper. But because if I put potato chips in there, it would get all greasy, I think. And I don't want to do that because I like to save my stuff. Flowers would work. Some kind of like a beach rose or something. Flowers would work. Plastic liner is a good idea. Yeah. I just don't like the idea of putting food in my creations, but I might be just different that way. But anyway, so this is a file from Dreaming Tree. I did put the file link in the description of this event. And we're going to put this together, and but you do have to purchase it. It is part of a set called Fun in the Sun SVG bundle that includes this really adorable card, and then also this mega sandcastle that we are going to do, I promise, in August. So I'm just like, so I think I'll do it in conjunction with the Sandcastle Week that we have here in Massachusetts. It's the first week in August on Revere Beach, one of the oldest beaches in America, or established public beaches, I suppose. But speaking of outdoors and beaches and what have you, last night I'm just going to tell you a little story. Last night I was invited to dinner at our farm. We have a local farm here. It's called Brooksby Farm. And it's been in operation continuously for centuries, I guess. But about 15, 20 years ago, the city of Peabody purchased the farm, and over the years has grown it. There's over 200 acres of land right here in our busy little city, and half of that is planted, so it's agricultural, and the other half is used for things like their recreation department, and these are all things I did not know. The recreation department, you can fish there, you can, I think they said swim in one of the ponds, and they do these outdoor adventures there. It runs spring to Christmas or spring to New Year's, and then over the winter, they actually have outdoor trail hiking and cross-country skiing. It is an amazing barn, and I think it doesn't get nearly as much publicity as it should. So I was just so excited to be invited by the staff there as part of the conservation committee. And if you ever get over to Peabody, this is surely something you must see. And so that's called Brixby Farm. And actually we have 2 farms in Peabody, which I think that we are the only city in Massachusetts that has 2 city-owned or town-owned farms. Really amazing. The other one is the community farm that I told you about that my son will volunteer on. It's really great. My friend Jeanette set that up, and she's doing a great job there. Anyway, it was so wonderful to get out there and to see all of the crops. They had blueberries, they had cherries, they had their own cherry trees. And then, of course, they have later on in the season, they'll have apples and pears, peaches, nectarines, and just everything you can think of. Also vegetables, squash, pumpkins, and eggplants, asparagus, which are done for the season. They've got raspberries that got totally picked out last year. So it's really a fun place. Anyway, look it up online. It's called Brixby Farm. Anyway, so sorry to go on that tangent. I'm going to I swear I'm back on track. So today we're going to do this, right? It's part of this bundle. You can either buy the bundle or you can buy this sand pail, which is only $2.99. I did leave a description, and I will leave a description on my Facebook page and in the YouTube video once we get done with this, okay? And we're gonna, I don't think I need to show you how to buy this, but what you're doing here is you're gonna buy it and download it. Oh, look at here. You're gonna download it and then upload it to Design Space. So here's what you have to do. So once you purchase it and download it to your computer, you go over here to upload. And you are going to go looking for that downloaded file. So we're going to go browse, and you'd go, mine comes to a download file here, and you can see all of these. This one here is, maybe this is it, or it's around here somewhere. But let's see, is this it? Springtime, Thankful, Lantern, Fairyville. I don't know. Anyway, so I have a lot of their files. And so within the file, you'll see a PDF. So here's the PDF. And this PDF is not, you can't pull this into Design Space, but you can print it out or open it up on your computer so you can have a look. And the printout is useful because it tells you the colors you're going to need and any additional materials that you're going to need. And then you've got the SVGs. So if you click on it, you'll see that these are all separated by color, which means that you have to pull each one of these in separately. So, for example, in this case, this was one I did recently. I forget even what it was. Oh, it was like a Mother's Day card. And so I had to bring all of them in individually. And once I did that, I had to make sure that I attached all the dash cut lines on the file, and then I could cut it out. So I like that PDF. It's very helpful to me. And so you might want to consider either printing it or opening it up on your desktop. I actually print them and put them into binders by season. And then I also have a binder that's like 3D and all of that. So, let's hit new, and I just want to show you what this project looks like. I'm not going to cut it out because you guys know how to cut it out. It's straight paper. For this, instead of just like, I think it's like a white paper he used for the shells. I decided to use blue holographic Cricut holographic vinyl to give it some little, bling. And then I went and I blinged out with rhinestones on these little holes to kind of make it look like bubbles. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward put together. So we're going to put it together and get started. So anyway, let's just, where is this thing? How come I can't find it? Okay, so the file consists of, the main piece, which I cut out in like a mint, and or a jade or whatever. There's two main pieces, and then it's just the handles is one handle, and then the decorations. So easy. Let's bring you down so you can have a look at how this goes together. And then we're also going to do that blingy part. So let me move this. It's always in my way. So if you were one of the people that got one of these rhinestone setters, then this project is going to use that, so you might want to break this out. It came with, I believe, some bling. If you bought the one that I gave you the link for, came with some bling, which is what I'm using today. I'm using all these different sizes of Crystal AB, which is that Aurora Borealis finish, and you don't have to use this color, but that's what I wanted to use for this. So you might want to keep your setter at the ready, okay? So as I mentioned, this project consists of, it actually ends up being 3 pieces that are the main piece. There's this piece that's going to go in and finish off the bottom, so we don't have to play with that right now. And these are the 2 main pieces, and you see that this bottom is on here as well, and there are dash cut lines, and you'll see within these panels there's 8 panels, so this is going to end up being an octagon. And if you look really closely, I can use this here just to kind of show you, there are these dashed things here. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 is here. So on each of these panels, you'll see 1, and then 2 dashes, 3 dashes, and 4 dashes in the shape of a square. That's the same way with here as well. That's so that you can properly fit the panels correctly, because the panels here also have dashes. See, there's a 2, so this 2 is going to go here. There's the 1, there's the 3, and where's the 4? Okay, so I'm hoping you can see that. So, but before we start doing the panels and stuff, we're going to just fold everything at those dashed cut lines and just kind of give the paper some movement. I like to fold both ways just because I want my, you're asking the paper to do something other than what it's used to doing, laying flat. So I always like to give it some movement by going both ways. So we're going to just fold here. We're not going to put together yet, but we're just folding. Okay. Here's the other one. So we're going to fold on these dash cut lines. Okay, here we go. Now, you'll also notice that there are holes here on each of the panels that are marked as 1, and that's going to be where our pail handle is going to go. Okay, so the first step is we're going to put these panels on, and like I said, they're going to be going in order. So you have to, we'll do the first side first, and I'm just going to use my Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. Now, one of the things you'll see here is that there are little cuts just tiny little cuts to show you where these panels go. And they're going to go right here. And you'll notice that there's a space here at the top and at the bottom. That's because we have decoration to put. Oh, why is that turning? Oh, yeah, I know. Sorry. That's a little brown because I had a pin in there and it got rusty. The glue normally isn't brown. Okay, so we're matching the number or the slash marks with each slash mark, and here we go. Now I'm going to do this a little bit differently than Leo did. Leo actually decorated it after, and personally I like to do it while it's flat, so I'm going to decorate it with our rhinestones after the fact, okay? So here we go. We do have to put there's a little piece here that's cut out. There are these little cuts around here, and that's to show you where to put those shells. Why isn't this coming out? Okay, here we go. That's where you're supposed to put the shells. They're not actually cut through like these circles, okay? So you have these things here, and then you have sort of guides here, and then you have the actual hole, like a hole cut through to show through with the green, okay? Okay. And we're just lining up carefully here. Just like that. Let's get to the other one. Again, here's 2, there's 1, 3, and 4. And we are going to just glue them in place, minding where that notch is. Right here, there's a little notch at the bottom and then at the top, so that you know how it should go on. I love those little notches because it really helps with placement. It's a very thought out detail. So here we go. Number 2. Now, next up is actually, let's get the rhinestones on, which is something that Leo did not do in his video. He just suggested that we might like to add rhinestones to this, so I ran away with his suggestion and did it. So I'm going to, after I get this, I'm going to heat up my rhinestone setter. If you don't have a rhinestone setter and don't wish to purchase one, then you can use anything you want, or you can leave it blank. You don't need to put that in there. Kind of like the way it looks this way, but I figured while we all have rhinestone setters, or a lot of people bought the rhinestone setter, which I'm heating up and using, this is the like little cradle that is going to go on. This gets super hot. Super hot, so do not touch it, especially this part. Do not touch this part at all. The the nose of the machine or the setter has like a little indentation. Do you see that? And I don't know if I can show this on camera, but it also has the size of the stone that works with it. So there's like a little indentation, and what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these. I think these are size 16 and 20. So here are 16s and 20s. This is different than on Saturday night. Remember Saturday night we did a whole slew of them in a template. This we're going to do one by one. Okay. And these are all different sizes, as you can see. And what we're going to do is wait for it to heat up, and then you know, you kind of have to sort of just give it a minute or two. And then we're going to actually pick up the stone, and sometimes it falls off, but then we're going to place it in that hole, and then just using it like upright at a 90 degree. Is that a 90 degree angle? We're going to sort of press it into the paper. And when it starts to move a little bit on its own, and you can feel it, right? So when it starts to move a little bit on its own, you know that it's set. Okay, so we can do all of them or just some of them. I'll just do some just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I actually have the 16, do I have the 16 SS, which this I think is a 20 SS, so it still works. So you don't have to change the tips is what I'm saying. I think that, you know, you can kind of choose the middle of the road tip if you're going to use 3 different sizes, but I definitely would not go changing the tip once you have it heated up because you will burn your fingers off. So here is what we're doing. We're taking our beautiful AB. Now these are glue, they're called Hotfix. I can just put it in here. They're called Hotfix. Now this is different than you might see your manicurist using. They use non-Hotfix. They're usually called flatbacks. And let's see, is that on there? They're called flatbacks. But let me just show you the back of this one. It has this kind of glue. It's like a little grayish, almost black color glue. And you need to use that with the setter. And they do come with the setter. So, you know, if you just don't want to get into the rhinestones like really in a big way, you can just use the setter and use it to bling out your pail. So, which is what I'm doing. I'm just putting one on each one, but I am sure that I could go and fill all of these, and just wanted to give you an idea of what I meant. I'm having trouble picking the bigger one up, but usually it just sort of cradles it and then you can place it. All right. Super fun. You don't need to use this color. There's a gazillion colors in rhinestones, and as we talked about before, rhinestones come in different sizes. The most often used size for the rhinestone templates is SS10 or 10SS, but these ones here are bigger than that, and so I would call them maybe 20s, SS20, or even larger than that. And how do you know? You kind of get a feel for it, and you can sort of you sort of can start to see the difference. And they do go quite small. I can just show you here. So see this, and they get real small. Look at that, tiny. All right, so this is how you add the rhinestones one by one on here. Now, if you're interested in rhinestones, but you can't see yourself placing them one by one, then you're going to want to check out my video that talks about rhinestone templates, because that's where you're going to use a template that you cut on your Cricut, and then you just kind of brush and sweep over the rhinestones. So let me just show you a template that I have cut out for that purpose. This one here is a bee, and it has a crown. So it's like Queen Bee, which I can't wait to make. So I cut that template out. It's not my design. I cut it out after I purchased it on Etsy, I believe, and I cut it out with, I tried using the flock that they recommend, this like kind of adhesive flock paper. I cannot get it to work. It doesn't cut all the way through, and then with the adhesive, it causes problems with the pieces that are cut out. So I cut it out in glitter cardstock, and then I adhere it to a piece of chipboard, and then I can just kind of spread my bling over it. And I shared yesterday something something. So that's all the bling I'm going to do for this, but just so that you know, there are two different techniques. This one is more of a embellishment type of a bling, and you can also do one where you're actually making full designs out of rhinestones. Oftentimes that's put on shirts and what have you. So there's that. Okay. And now I am just taking both pieces and attaching them together. I'm not going to turn it into a loop just yet, but I'm just going to kind of put it aside because I want to work on my seashells. Okay. So as I mentioned to you, I decided to do these seashells in holographic vinyl. This is the blue holographic vinyl. It's quite thick. I've worked with this before, and we're going to have two of the scallops and two, I don't know what those are called, two sea stars and two conches and one little sand dollar. So there's 8 and an extra here. So that extra is for the top. And we do need to have transfer tape for this very purpose because it's a pretty thick vinyl, so we really need the help of the transfer tape. I suppose if you have really steady hands, you could maybe try to lift this up on your own, but I don't have steady hands. So I'm putting it on one at a time onto my transfer tape like that. And this is a trick that somebody told me about a while ago that I thought was really handy for this, and that is I took my transfer tape and I flipped it over. So this is the sticky part, and then I took the piece of paper that it was going to go on and lined it up like this. And there you go. Perfect, right? You still need to obviously burnish, but it comes off, and there we got one shell done. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving right along. They're duplicated, and we'll just do them all. Probably want to move on to other parts of the video, so I won't do all 8. Just wanted to give you an idea of how this works and what I do, where I'm going to turn it upside down, and which would mean you'd have to turn your cutout upside down, remember, because it needs to match. And here we go. Okay, so we'd go along and do this for all 8 pieces for all 8 sides, and then for the last one, which is the sand dollar, is going to also go on a piece, but it's not actually, it's going to go on the handle and not the actual pail itself. So we'll just I'll just show you how that goes. So let's pretend that we did all of these, because I want, and we can come back and do them later on. Now, what I did with my pail, oops, I put that on wrong. Sorry, my phone rang. I forgot to turn it on. Do not disturb. Uh-oh, I hope they don't try to call back. Okay, so we can do all of those. And then what I thought that we would do is we would use pop dots. So here is what pop dots look like if you've never seen them before. This one I believe I bought this because it's Studio G, and it really does not need to be name brand, and they do sell them at the Dollar Tree store. And basically what it is it's a piece of foam that has adhesive on each side, and they're cut out either in circles or squares, sometimes not even cut out, but they're cut out in circles and squares. And I was thinking that we would sort of put them onto the back of the seashells and put them on to the side of the pail. Kind of give it a more 3D than that. So here is just an example of what I was going to do, or what I am going to do. So I put a couple of pop dots on here. And I need to find, and it's very possible that he's given the instructions, but you have to sort of line this up. So I know this is the one that has that point to it. This is the star. This is the conch, which makes this one the scallop edge. But you can either try to, follow that, or if you don't care about matching it up, you don't have to do that. But that's how they're set up there. And you would go along and do all 8 of them. And if we have time at the end, I'll come back and do the rest, okay? So now that you have all of this done, it's time to close it up and to turn it into the actual pail. So you notice that once I put these together, here's the bottom of the pail, and then right here is the flap, or the tab. It's a very large tab. So we're going to glue this, make sure you get at that edge. And the easiest way I know to do that is to just fold in half. Now, there's a little bit of bling on there, so you've got to be careful about how you do that. But folding in half will make your bucket awful, not awful. It will make your bucket more symmetrical, yeah. So then once you're done with that, and you know that the glue has sort of gotten together, we're going to push all the bottom tabs in, and we're going to glue right here on the top, basically on the top of this. This is the way it was designed. I know that he's designed them other ways, or they have designed them other ways, but this one is this design, which is fine. Oftentimes they don't put like this here as a hinge. Okay. Okay. So trying to make it into that octagon shape, and then I'm going to put this over here, and now I just need to make sure that it's all lined up, like really level on all of those sides. And this is important because it does affect the entire project, so try to do your best to get this on. But if you don't do it right, don't kill yourself either. I mean, it's just a paper project, so here we go, and you can see here that mine is like lifting here, so I am going to get in from the inside and just sort of try to move it in there. I'm going to need a little bit more glue there, so I'm going to put some there. And then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take a tool, maybe it's my glue, it's always my glue, and I'm going to push down here on those tabs so that it really is going to stick, okay? And then as sort of an added insurance, and also to make the piece look better, is this inside piece. Again, it's an octagon, like a stop sign, and all we need to do is put a little bit of glue on there, just like that. And also press it down. Okay, so at this point, we're almost done with the actual pail. We do have a couple of things that we need to put on the actual pail, but they're just decorative. And then we have to work on the handle. So let's talk about the decorative pieces. There are 2. There's a sort of a yellow band, and you notice it has like a little bit of a curve, and they're tabs and also dash cut lines. And so you're going to fold at all of those tabs and cut lines. If it's helpful, give it the other way around as well, Fold it both ways. There are 2 pieces here, and they're both curved. So there's 4 and 4, and actually one piece has a tab, both tabs. So we're going to put these together. And make sure that you are facing them correctly, okay? And actually, these are upside down because you can see that the waves are not really waves. So this is going to actually go on like this. So the curve goes like this, almost like an arc, okay? And then we are going to start, and there's no way, you know, no rhyme in terms of like you must start at this edge. I'm just starting there. So I'm going to put glue on the back of this strip. And I probably need to use my non-ultra fine tip glue that I haven't been able to place it somewhere. I cleaned up and now I can't find where I put stuff. Does it happen to you? You know, I'm like, I know I have this stuff and I'm not going to buy more, but I was thinking I'm getting clean with it and putting in its own little spot, and that didn't work out because I forgot where that spot was. It made sense at the time, did not make sense now. It's a long, it's a regular battle to keep a studio, isn't it? It's just, or even a craft room or a craft area, whatever you're lucky enough to have. And it's hard to keep clean. Okay, so here we go. It's right side up. And I put the glue all in there, and I'm going to just start placing at the edge that doesn't have the tab. I'm going to not press this one all the way down because there's a tab there that I want to get at. So I'm just going to run it like almost like a ribbon across first. And we're doing it along the edge. And then once we get here back to the start, I'm going to put that tab in and give it a little bit more glue, and then we'll come and just make sure it's all arranged correctly. Okay, so this is pretty easy. You do need to do it when it's assembled. You can't do it flat because of the shape of our 3D project. All right, and if you see that it's not on there correctly, you can just put a little more glue in there just to kind of hold it in place. Remember, this is not a flat project, so you might have a little bit of like coming up where there is a bend, okay, like right here. All right, and then we can do the bottom piece the same way. So the bottom piece is 4 segments on each, like this. This one has that tab, and this is the other one. And when you glue them together, and you don't have to glue them together, but I kind of like it's easier. So when you glue them together, make sure the pieces are going the correct way. So we want to actually make like an arc like this, like a smile or a frown. Actually, we're going to make a frown. All right. And then this will get put on the same way as the top part went on. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. So far, so good, right? Really easy. And just not a difficult project, but really stunning. And you can make it, you know, your own by doing whatever you want with the bling. Maybe you might want to, instead of the holographic, I thought also of glitter cardstock for the shells. So it's sort of up to you. And Let's just put this on here. Did I put it on right? I might not have. It has a more subtle arch. You know, I did put it on right. I just didn't. Okay. That's why I like to use liquid glue, because if I made a little mistake, I can sort of pull it up. Okay, easy. And I'm gonna get to this part and glue on that. And actually, this is not on there right at the edge, so it's causing a little bit of problems, but that's okay. We're just gonna come back and put a little bit more glue to hold it in place, no biggie. Right? So I'm thinking next week we're going to start with our Christmas in July, and we're going to focus. I got word from Kathy from Idaho and a few other people that we need to make cards, because she really wants to get her card game going for Christmas. And so we will start with cards, Christmas cards. I'm going to show you what's available in Design Space, but also I'm going to introduce you to a couple of designers, one being SVG Cuts, and then the other one being Dreaming Tree, and I'll probably throw a Lori Whitlock in there as well. And depending on how long we go on this, it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, but we're going to be doing paper cards starting Monday. Okay, paper cards for the holidays, Christmas and everything. Okay, so there is the actual, we'll have to figure something out for the 3D. I think there are some Christmas 3D cards. Yeah, in fact, I know there are some. So we'll do that. We'll stay with the card theme for at least a week, maybe 2. There's a lot of cards. Okay, so next up is the handle. Let's just put this aside and let all that glue set. So the handle composed of, for a nice thickness, it's actually a double of this red. You see? And you're going to match them up like this, and it's going to be double, and you're going to look for, it says L here, that's lower, so that's going to, this one's going to go above this one, and then on this side we'll look for the L. It's not on there, so there's the L on this side, so that one goes on here. And you'll also see really, if I point it out up close, this is where this is going to overlap like this. So, and then this goes on top of that. Just, it's mostly decorative. So we're going to be careful about this part, because it's going to be sort of curled a little bit, and we want to make sure that they're getting attached correctly so there's no separation there. So here we go. So this is not really something you want to do flat. So if you can give it a little bit of just a little bit while it's gluing, doesn't have to be a whole lot, but I just run my fingers through there. But you'll see as you do that, like you might end up with a little bit of a bubble there. So just make sure that you're giving it some of that treatment. And this goes on top here. Oh, oops. All right. I think I forgot to mention that this project does use brads to put the pail on, I'm sorry, to put the handle on the pail. So I'm going to get those. I'll explain them in a brief moment. I did this wrong. So I did not do this right. Okay, so here is that little spot. I did it going the other way. Come on, Rita. Okay, here we go. So there's that spot, and we're going to just attach it right here using glue. But this gives it a nice thickness so that if you want to move it around or somebody grabs it, you know, it's not going to be flimsy if you happen to put something heavy in there. Okay. So see how it's kind of curved? We're going to do the same thing with the yellow. The yellow has on it a little like cut mark here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue it at the cut mark so it overlaps. All right. Before we go and put this on, I want to affix the decorative sand dollar on the top because I think it looks cute that way and it's easy to put on. So I'm just sort of stretching it out, and then I'm going to glue these two together. Doesn't it look just like, I think this scallop edge makes it look, really reminds me of sand pails when I was a kid. Or beach pails. I don't know, what do you call them? Sand pails, peach pails? I don't know. I think I used to call mine beach pail, but. And they would get so like sun bleached after a while because, you know, you'd be hauling all that sand up, making a sand castle. I love sand castles. Okay. So here is our arched, I want to make sure that that's on there good. And so to hide this little piece here, we're going to take our sand dollar, here it is, and maybe we'd put a dot there or like a pop dot there, or we can just glue it on there. I think gluing is fine, but it just sort of hides where those two pieces came together. And it's sort of the halfway spot, okay? So we also need some brads, okay? So you may not know what a brad is because they were like all the rage years ago and people used them in everything, but now it's like I never see people using them. These ones happen to be patriotic, but I'm just gonna use the white ones. Brads come in many sizes. We're gonna use like a standard size right here. We'll use the white. And just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, a brad has a head like a nail, and unlike a nail, it has two like legs. I don't know if you can see that. So that once you put it inside of a hole, then you sort of flip those wings out, and that's what holds the pieces together. Okay, so pretty simple, hard to explain, pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to take our first brad, we're going to put it through this pail, and then we're going to put it through the side hole here, and see what I'm doing here? Okay, then I'm going to flip it over or turn it over or whatever. And this will allow the handle to move. So it's a really sturdy and movable handle, which I love. So, okay, I'm putting the brad, of course it's slipping from my fingers, but see, there's that brad. And these usually come in brass, but then they also come in all different colors. And this is the pack I found. So we're going to put that on the outside, and then on the inside, take and open up those two like wings or legs, whatever you want to call it. And so now the pail moves or the handle moves on the pail. And that is it. I mean, we can continue on because I know that I rushed through and didn't do all those side pieces. We'll continue on, but I wanted to make sure that people, you know, who had to run off or whatever, that they would see the full assembly. Okay, so why don't we, since I got a couple of extra seconds here or minutes, let's continue on with this. Also, I can talk too at the same time. And so I wanted to remind you that tomorrow night, so Saturday night at 7 o'clock, which is Eastern time, we will be going live on Zoom with just a couple dozen friends. Anybody can join us, and it's not really, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't cost anything. And then what I do is I record it as it's going on. So I sit at my desk and I record the Zoom on my computer. It's kind of interesting. And that way people who can't get on the Zoom can watch it as it's happening. And then also most of the time, oops, I forgot to do it this way. Most of the time, it gets recorded and then I put it on to YouTube. It loses a little bit of production value, but it's a good way for people, if you know, just for people to see each other. And we normally have a theme, so I'm going to set the theme at you know, summertime projects. So anything that you've done recently that, you know, it's Father's Day or summer, end of school, graduation, all of that sort of stuff, that summertime project. So I'm going to pick 2 of my favorite summertime projects. So this is an opportunity for you to win money, cash, not actually cash, but a cash value of $50. Unfortunately, if you are somebody that won, keep doing it the wrong way. If you're somebody who won from us a joy recently, so like a Ladra, and Dawn, I forget who else, Tammy, you would not be eligible for 6 months just because we need to give room for other people to win. But anyway, so you'll win a $50 prize. And that is of Cricut product. Now, we usually have 5 prizes every month, and actually 6 prizes. We have the grand prize, which is the joy, and then we have 5 prizes worth $50. So we usually take 2 from our Zoom call. I really like this schedule because it's a lot easier for me, because I don't like to have to pick and choose between people. So Zoom call is based on your participation, so that's why we pick winners from there. And then the others are awarded to people who are like part of my Patreon. So that's just to encourage Patreon or Facebook. If you support me there, then you have an opportunity to win more Cricut stuff. All right. And then what happens is at the end of the month, because it does take, what am I doing here? At the end of the month, I don't know what I'm doing here. It does take me a little while to get all the process done and get the information to Cricut. You will get your prize. So even though it's just the beginning of July, you won't get a prize if you want it until probably the beginning of August, just to be clear, because I don't want you to be checking the mailbox like you know, Charlie Brown looking for his Valentine and not seeing it. And I usually will let you know when it's on its way. And this is I'm letting you know if you won in June, they have been sent out. I got an email last night and they have been sent out for June. So Aledra, your joy is on its way to you. And the other winners, which I wish I could remember their names, but I can't because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time here, but I forget. There was, I think Lynn Collins is a winner, and Eileen Ramsbacker was a winner. And I don't remember who all else. Forgive me. But you are going to be getting your prizes this month. I decided that we should focus a little bit on infusible ink. So you are getting a really nice infusible ink package that includes a lot of like the soft goods stuff. Okay? You're welcome. And congratulations to our winners. We do this giveaway every month. It took me a little while to get a system going, but this is the system we have right now. So we have one big giveaway winner, and that is right now we're doing a bundle of joy. It's a joy machine with all of the extras, or the essentials or whatever. So you get like a card mat and some pens and all that kind of stuff and some smart vinyl and stuff. And then that's the one winner. It's a $250 value, give or take. And then for the 5 winners is $50 each month. We do this every month. Thanks to my friends over at Cricut who sponsor me for that. And all I have to do is be the person that gives it away. I did this one a little bit wrong. Oh well. See that? I did a little wrong. But I get to give it away, and we do it every month. We're going to be doing the Joy Bundle until October, we decided. So we did 2 in April, then we did May, June, and this will be the July one. And then, so if you don't win July, you have an opportunity to win August, September, or October. And then after October, I'll be giving away mug presses. Okay, so if you don't win, and remember you can only win if so it's fair. Somebody was asking about what Rafflecopter is about, and what Rafflecopter is about is it's a way to tally all of the entries and pick a name so that so it's fair, and so we can get all different winners. Everybody can be happy, which is what I like. So there is that. But I just want to point out that if you follow me and give me a $5 subscription on Facebook or on Patreon, then you are entered into a very small, it's very small, you're entered into a very small pool of people, and your chances of winning something much higher than of winning the joy, because it's just the way that it is. There's like maybe 30, 40 people that are part of the Patreon or whatever. And so 2 a month get chosen. So you do the math. Somebody's going to win over time. Anyway. What's important is that we're all learning, and prizes are fun. Oh, speaking of prizes, I have a couple extra cuties that I'm going to be giving away. It's going to be different than our regular giveaways. I have some cuties. There will be a special way to sign up to receive it. And once we reach a certain point, and I'm going to announce that hopefully next week. I started to do it this week, and then I got distracted. And so we're going to put that in. I have several duplicate cuties, so I'm not getting into my stash, but I have some duplicates. I think I might even have a duplicate peacock one, maybe. And so gonna want to stay tuned and watch me, or at least be following me and have that whatever you call it, the bell or whatever, the following part on Facebook, or the bell on otherwise. So that is our pail. That's all the news. I'm just going to put these pieces on according to where they should go, and then we will have a done project. Isn't that getting cute? It's so cute. The starfish goes here. I think maybe there. And even though it's really not beach weather, it's so strange, we can be in the mood for the beach. We're so lucky. I am so lucky that I live here where it's a stone's throw. Peabody does not have a beach, although we do have waterways, of course, but we don't have a beach. So we just get in the car and drive either up to Cape, and that's the other Cape, Cape Ann, which is Gloucester, Rockport, Manchester, Magnolia. They have lovely beaches up there. And then we also go to Nahant, which is local. And there's one in Lynn, Salem, Beverly, Danvers. We're the only city that doesn't have a beach waterfront. But we have a lot of other things. So there you go. So almost done here. Yes, Rockport's beautiful. It has one of the most photographed motif. They call it motif #1. And it's just, if you've ever seen a picture of Rockport, you probably have seen it. It's the side of an old fishing, like a boat, what do you call it? Boat building. It's red, and then there's the pier and all the little boats sitting around. It's beautiful. And I lived up in Amesbury for a time, and the oldest known boat making company's been continuously run. It's in Amesbury. It's called Lowell's Boat Shop. And that was really fun to go and sort of look around there and tour. So there's a lot of great history if you ever want to head on over to my woods. So this is our completed pail. Isn't it adorable? And again, you could do it any way you like. You don't have to use the rhinestones to bling it out. I might go back and hit it with a few more rhinestones just because, but it's so much easier to put it on when it's flat, isn't it? So, and there, I think it's worthy of something more than potato chips. All right. So that's our 3D, Friday. This is a beach pail. Remember, it's from Dreaming Tree. It is a paid file, and I will put the link in the description of the video if you happen to be watching the replay. If you've made it this far, consider forwarding, sharing the video, or commenting after the fact, whatever, because you can watch these after the fact on Facebook, as somebody pointed out yesterday, and you can watch them on YouTube as well. So I really appreciate the comments, and I read them all. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hi, Matt. How are you? Hi, Nikki. How you doing, Matt? You still in a little slump? Joyce, hello. Hi. And there's Shelly. Are you back, Shelly, from your trip? Hi, Susan. Tamra, well, so I'm a little bit hesitant to log off today because it's rainy. We're getting so most of you probably experiencing that too. We're getting, I guess, the tropical storm from Elsa. So it's kind of rainy and all I want to do is craft all day. And then, so I guess I'll be working on our Christmas cards for next week. Okay. Oh, hey, while I have you still on, I wanted to show you this. This is a beautiful card actually it was from a Dreaming Tree file that's free. And this is from my friend, Lori Richter. And I want to just point out, she put rhinestones on the toes of this adorable flamingo. And look at this card. And she put a thank you on the inside. It says, Miss Rita, so appreciate your daily videos and the community you have created. It is one of love and inspiration. I'm so happy I found you. Thank you so much for the wonderful gifts. Oh, she won last month. Keep being you and letting your light shine. You are a joy to know. Love, Lori Richter. Isn't that great? And this is the envelope that came with it. If you like this card, you can get it for free from the free files at Dreaming Tree 3D SVG. Appreciate that they post those for us. All right, everyone. I guess I have to say goodbye. I'll see you on Saturday night for our Zoom call. I'll be around, so if you need me, and I'll be around, and I'm going to be working on Christmas cards, as I said. So we'll talk to you all soon, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night on the Zoom call. Wouldn't that be fun? All right. Take care.